Hey guys, welcome to another video on RussellMUA's channel. Today I'm going to be giving you a tutorial look on this glam look, so if you want to get this glam look, keep on watching. Before we get right into the video, I'm going to ask you please to subscribe, please like, please comment future videos you want to see. Hey guys, so right on to the tutorial. I'm going to start with using moisturizer, and I'm using my First Aid Beauty Intense Hydration. This is a really good moisturizer if you have really dry and parched skin, especially if you have eczema. It works amazing for eczema. I love this moisturizer. And moving right along, I'm going to go in with my Amore Pacific Hydration Delivery System. It works really good with evening out your texture and really waking up your face and just giving overall more moisturized feel. I absolutely love it. It works amazing. After that, I'm going to go in with my Too Faced Hangover RX coconut water primer. This is a really good primer for moisturizing the face. If you have really dry skin, it's amazing. It has coconut water in it, and it's oil free, so that's a plus, and it's really moisturizing. I know this seems like a lot of product, but now I'm going in with my Benefit Porefessional primer. So once I'm completely done with all my primers, I go back in with the More Pacific just to give one more spritz to add moisture to the face again. So now that I'm completely done priming and prepping the face, I'm going in with my Born This Way Too Faced Foundation. I am in the shade Light Beige, in case anyone was wondering. Oh god, overexposure. So yes, I'm going with my Born This Way foundation, and I'm taking my beauty blender, and I'll be using that, spritzing it on the back of my hand or pumping it, and I'll be using my beauty blender to blend it all over the face. I'm not going to show me completely doing my entire face because I feel like a lot of this is common sense. You know what I'm doing. I'm buffing into the face. So now that I have my foundation set, I'm going to go in with my Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer, and I almost dropped it because I'm an idiot, and I'm going to go in with that and go on the parts of my face that need brightened, like my under eye, because I never sleep. So I'm doing the basic, upside down triangle underneath the eye, and I think I'm going to do it above my lip and a little bit on my chin. But yeah, this is basic. A lot of beauty gurus do this, so y'all know this trick. I mean, it's basic. Yeah, so I'm doing this. It's going to add a little more coverage because the Naked Weightless Concealer is full coverage, but it's really weightless. Like, it feels so nice on the skin. But yeah, I'm just going to go in with that on my T-zone area and everywhere that needs a little bit of brighten and highlighting. So then I'm going to take my beauty blender, and I'm just going to buff that out. So it's all common sense, just buffing it out. And now that I have my under eyes, chin, and lip done, I'm going up on my forehead. I'm going to take it right down my nose as well. And then I usually like to buff that out, and I usually do like all the center parts of the face. Anywhere that light should be captured on the face, I'm putting some of the Naked Skin Concealer there. So now I'm going to take my beauty blender and blend that out. Okay, so now I'm taking my Coty Airspun, and I'm putting that right underneath my under eyes to bake and set it so it doesn't crease. And you can get Coty Airspun literally anywhere. They have it at Walgreens, CVS, I think some Rite Aids carry it, Walmart, Myers. It's hidden. You have to look for it. It has like the orange lid, but if you find it and it's in stock, bitch, buy all of it. So after I put it underneath my eyes, I'm going to use it to completely set the rest of my face. So I'm setting my nose. And a good tip is, if you have really large pores, pack in the powder where your pores are, and it really helps like temporarily fill in the pores. Don't worry, it's completely safe. They're hyperallergenic, or not that's not the word I'm looking for, but it's completely safe for your pores. It's not gonna clog them. It comes out at the end of the day, but it's a really good tip if you have really big pores. So yeah, that's my Coty Airspun I'm taking, my absolute fave drugstore setting powder. So now I'm going to take my MAC Studio Fix powder, and I honestly don't know what shade I'm in because the back of it literally scratched off. Like, I have to go buy some more. I'm hitting pan on this, and I literally don't even know the shade. But I'm using two different ones. I'm using one on the outer portions of my face and one on the inner portions. So I'm using a little bit of a darker one on the outer portions of my face to dust off the powder and add a little bit more color to my face, and that's basically it. So now I'm going to take my E48 brush, I believe it is, and I'm going to use that right underneath my eyes using my lighter Studio Fix powder, and I'm just going to dust off the excess powder and really add a little bit more color to the face and dimension by adding the powder on there. So you guys basically get the point of this. I'm just putting the powder underneath my eyes, on my the center, going down my nose and my chin, and I believe I put a little bit on my forehead. That's basically it. Now that I'm completely powdered, I'm going to take my trusty Urban Decay All-Nighter Setting Spray, and I'm literally going to fucking drown myself in this. I use so much, but I think the more you use, honestly, I think it gives you a better finish. Now that I'm completely set, I'm taking my MAC the Mineralized Skin Finish, and I'm in the shade Deepest Dark. I'm taking that or I think it's Dark Deepest, it's backwards, yeah. I'm using that to shade my temple a little bit, and I'll be using it to contour in a minute, but right now I'm just kind of showing you how I shade my temple. I'm using part of the Rose Gold collection for the Morphe. I'm using it, and it's a tapered brush, so I literally just take it flat, and I tap it onto the Mineralized Skin Finish, and I literally just go back and forth and shade my temple. So now we're getting into the magic of the tutorial, and that is the art of contouring. And what I'm doing is I'm going at the highest point of my cheekbone, right above my ear, and I'm taking that, and if you look at your face in the mirror, you can see your natural cheekbone. If you do a little fishy face, you can see it clearly. I was blessed with good cheekbones, so I could see where the line was, and I'm just taking it down that line. Now that I took the contour about halfway down the cheek, I'm taking my lighter of the Studio Fix powders that I have, and I'm putting that right underneath the contour to kind of sharpen up the contour and give my cheek a more precise look. Alright, and now I'm just taking my Nars blush in Orgasm right in front of the contour and blending it back into the contour. To add just a little bit more intensity to my contour, and I'm going to tame it down. I'm going to take my powder eventually. I know it may look harsh, but to add a little bit more of intensity to it, I'm taking my Hoola bronzer and just putting it right at the beginning of the base of the contour. And now I'm taking my darker MAC Studio Fix powder and I think it's a G36 brush by Morphe, and I'm just kind of putting that all over the contour to tame it down. Now my favorite part, I'm taking Champagne Pop and I'm just going to highlight, and oh my god, do you see that, bitch? Do you see the highlight? Oh, grrr. Look at that. I'm shook. Highlighting is literally my favorite thing in the world. If I could just be buried in highlighter, I would be fine with that. Just a little pro tip, a beauty blender, if you just dab that over your highlight, it helps it last all day. Bitch, and you thought we were done highlighting? No, girl. We're gonna take Funny Girl from the Tartlette and Bloom palette. Damn! And that's just gonna add a little bit of more of a glitz and glitter to the cheek, and I'm so excited. So as you can tell, I did the other part of my face off camera, but this double chin needs to go, bitch. So I did my brows and shit off camera, and I primed with the Urban Decay Primer Potion Eden. And I'm using the Tartlette and Bloom palette for eyeshadow today. So this part just gets very tedious, so I'm kind of gonna crop it down a little bit, but I took Jet Setter from the Tartlette and Bloom palette. It's a really nice cool tone transition shade, and I'm just putting that right above my natural crease, right slightly above it, and I'm trying to make my eyes look a little bigger, and I'm taking it from the outer corner, and I'm going to be blending it out into the inner corner. So you want to take it from the outer corner to the inner corner because it's going to make you, especially if you have hooded eyes like me, it makes your eyes look a lot bigger. So that's basically what I did, and I'm going to skip ahead. So now that you have the original crease color in there all over the crease, you're going to go in with Rebel. Oh my god, I'm sorry for the overexposure. We're going in with the color Rebel, and I'm taking that right below the where I put the all over crease color, and I'm going to blend that into the crease color and make a gradient to kind of give my eyes definition and more shape. So this was very tedious too, so I kind of shortened it down, but you're going to want to keep building up the color and keep blending it out. And you just want to build the intensity. So you're going to keep building this color into Jet Setter. So this is all very tedious. So I kind of zoomed through it because there was a few more minutes of me blending. But it all has to do with blending and placement of the colors and just keep adding definition. So I mean, just keep going with a smaller blending brush and keep blending that out. These are all Morphe brushes, by the way. I don't have an affiliate code, but these are all Morphe brushes. So now we're going in the Tartlette, okay girl, okay, calm down. So we're going back in the Tartlette and Bloom palette, and this is all very tedious. You're gonna go into a darker shade, Leader, which is, Leader, it wavers in between cool tone and warm tone. It's kind of like a neutral tone, because I feel like it can go both ways, but I think it did a good job of really adding more definition to the crease, And this is all about reshaping the eyes, or honestly just bringing up the natural shape that you have, just making it even better. So you're just going in with that darker shade, and you're going to blend that out into the other darker shade that you had, Rebel. And you want everything to be cohesive, so you're going to blend that out into the other color and then keep blending it out. But you want to build the intensity. You want the colors to be intense but blended and almost like at a gradient. So you want to keep building up the intensity using a smaller blending brush. And this is all very tedious, so I'm just going to skip ahead. And this was the last shade that I added in to add definition and kind of like the finishing touch to the look. I believe the name was Activist for this shade. It's like a very dark brown, almost black. I'd say it's kind of like an off black. So I'm putting that literally right at the inner corner of my eye, like literally only right at the inner corner. And then I'm going to blend that out. I have like a little small detail brush that I'm using. Of course, it's a Morphe brush as well. And then I'm going to take the other brushes and I'm just going to blend it out into the finish of it and make it all look very cohesive. So now I'm going to take my eyeshadow primer, and this is the Urban Decay eyeshadow potion primer in Eden, and I'm using that to kind of carve out my lid to where I'm going to put this shadow, and this is very tedious. Like, I'm basically carving out the natural lid I have. I'm just doing this to intensify and add more definition to it to really make it all clean, nice, clean, and cut. And that's basically all I'm doing at this part. I'm just really adding where my lid is to clean it up. And now I'm going to dip in my Z palette, and I'm taking the shade Grandstand from Makeup Geek, and I'm going to put that where I put the eyeshadow primer potion. But, so I ended up having to use my finger because I was really struggling. The brush was not picking up the product, so I ended up using my finger to finish it off. Of course, my one and only tattoo liner. Now, if we could all just say a prayer for my liner, this is probably one of the hardest parts of makeup. So what I'm doing is I'm just like thinly outlining the beginning of my eye, and then I'm gonna like wing it out really thick in the end. So now I'm just extending that wing on the outside and turning it into a wing, and this is probably the hardest part because you have to really get the shape down, and I was going for more of a cat eye today. It's really hard to describe how to do it, but when you get to the curve of your eye at the end of it, you almost have to swoop down with the natural curvature of your eye, because when your eyes are open, then you're going to get that cat eye. It's going to go straight. It's going to be a straight line going out in a wing. It's really hard to describe, but you have to curve the line with the shape of your eyelid, so it looks like it when your eyes are open. So after your liner is slayed, you're going to take your eyelash curler and you're going to curl your lashes up to Jesus. And once those are curled, we're just counting to 12. You can see me trying to count in my mind. After that's curled, you're going to take your mascara, my holy grail. I'm in love with the Benefit Roller Lash. It's really good for curling lashes. And I'm going to take that all over the lashes, and I'm just going to curl them up and, just make them look pretty. And now that both eyes are done, I'm going to take my Morphe Picasso palette, and I'm going to use the green, and I'm going to do a little neon green moment underneath the eyes for my under eye, and it's going to be sickening. I wanted to do a little bit of pop of color on the lid, or on the waterline, because I felt it was too neutral. All right, and now I'm taking Thrash from the Urban Decay Electric palette and blending that out. Fun fact, the Urban Decay Electric palette is actually my first high-end purchase. I made that when I was like almost 17. I was like working at, it was when I started working at Kroger, so I was working at McDonald's for a few months there, so I was almost 17 then. It's like almost 3 years ago. The shade Fringe, and I'm going to put that on the outer corner, and I'm going to blend that in to add a little bit of definition to my under eye. I love doing this before I do like a little bit of liner in the waterline, which I did. I did some Kat Von D liner in the waterline, but I don't think I filmed that. But just know that I just literally took it on the waterline, just some black liner. So now that the eyes are completely done, what you missed was I ended up putting a little mole where I have an acne scar that's super annoying, so I have to cover it up and like I don't know, turn it into a beauty mark basically. But now I'm taking my MAC lip pencil in, I believe it is not oak. It's oak. Yeah, okay. I'm taking that, and then I'm gonna take the MAC lipstick in Flesh Pot, and that's a really good nude combo. But I think I'm taking this one. I think I end up taking the Kylie Jenner lip pencil in Candy K as well, because it was a little bit darker, and I think it added a little bit more definition. So I used both those pencils. Yeah, there's my MAC lipstick in the shade Flesh Pot. Okay, so I'm really stupid, and I forgot to mention the lashes I'm wearing are the Sephora lashes in the style Fierce number 33, and I use my Urban Decay setting spray to finish everything off. And this is the final look. Thank you so much for watching.